pod. It is June the 28th, 2022, and we are glad to be with you on another Tuesday here. And just make sure you head over to 3countthursday.com. You'll find all of our merchandise, social media links, and all of that. If you are not subscribed to the show, please do that on all podcast platforms. If you can find one that we are not on, let us know. We'll make sure we get on there. If you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, please be sure to rate and review the show, and like I said, share it with anybody you think that might enjoy the show. We'd appreciate that. Jim, Tim, Ryan, and Matt here for another week. Intern Mark may be jumping back in. We don't know. He may be joining us at some point for this episode, but for our first topic, this is one that I saw. Actually, Big Mac from the Take 3 had sent me a TikTok last week, and it was from the account at Straight Shoot on TikTok, and they did a thing. I don't know if it's like a regular series that they do, or if it was just a one-off topic, but it's overrated, underrated, and they're calling it the Roman Reigns edition. So they take 4 aspects of Roman Reigns currently and assess if it is overrated or if it is underrated. Tim, little behind the curtain here. I'm currently watching you sniffing a shoe. I assume this is a brand new shoe that you just received?
No, it's not. It's actually it's still new, but I've never worn these.
Okay.
These are the Mario 64 Pumas that I bought.
Okay.
During the pandemic. Never worn.
And you just
they've literally sat in a box since I bought them.
You just randomly get them out and give them a good whiff?
Well, I am right now, because I did hear that, like, if you buy shoes and you just let them sit, they'll kind of erode. And I just remembered that when, like, we were booting up this call.
Huh.
So I'm just checking the integrity of my shoes. And then I decided to start to smell them, and they still smell like new shoes.
I mean, I do enjoy the smell of a new shoe.
It's a top 5 smell. A very underrated smell.
Yeah, like
overrated, underrated. Underrated smell, brand new shoes. Overrated smell, gasoline.
Get out of here.
Dude, gasoline's underrated. I love the smell of gasoline.
Everybody loves the smell of gasoline. It's overrated.
I don't know, man. It may not be.
We're giving Laura Shane McMahon. Fuck you, Tim.
War games! War games! War games! War games!
Blood and guts.
Blood and guts!
I don't care. I'm smelling shoes. I feel like that creepy Finn guy who stole a lock of hair in Charlie's Angels.
Shane McMahon!
Here's the thing. I'll maybe give you that gasoline is not underrated, but it's like it's just where it belongs. I'm not willing to concede that it's overrated.
Oh, my shoe fell.
Oh no.
Okay.
Shoe down. All right, we're okay.
Shoe in this dress.
So we are doing overrated, underrated, and you know what? Now that we have this topic, I feel like this is going to be something we're going to revisit on this Tuesday pod from time to time, and it may not even be wrestling related. We may dabble into things that are not wrestling related on this show,
like the film A Christmas.
why do you got to start off hostile just right out of the gate, Matt?
Like the theme park Kenobi.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
2 for 2, overrated.
No, for God's sake!
Come on. I specifically said amusement park because there is no theme to Knoebels.
Correct.
There's no amusement to Knoebels.
That's not true.
It's just a park.
Again, oh my God.
You walk. First off, if you've ever walked around Knoebels and just watched the people, you know there's
do that
amusement.
at any theme or
if they
amusement
let
park.
you in for free, Why go?
Because it's
Okay, so I'm assuming Matthew and Timothy have just never been to Knoebels, correct?
I've been.
I've never been, and I have no interest in going.
I went once, and it was
Tim,
nice.
as a fat man and the food that's there, I beg you to reconsider that assessment.
I'm pretty sure I can get tastier food for cheaper elsewhere.
At your any local carnival.
Or 7-Eleven. It's right down the street.
Wow, you guys.
I live across the street from a Wawa.
It's not the same.
I have DoorDash. Food can come to me.
You're right. They can do that. But we're doing the Roman Reigns edition.
This goddamn podcast.
It's the word. Ryan,
So,
no.
like, you need to just have a family reunion at Knoebels, and we all have to go. You're the host.
That's true. I should do that.
Just put your foot down.
I might. You know what? It's too late.
I'm busy that weekend.
It's too late this year, but maybe for my 38th birthday next year, I'm just gonna throw a big old bash up there at Knoebels, and all the crew will have to join.
I'll send my well
We
wishes.
can rent a fucking cabin and just all get
Thoughts
drunk
and
that
prayers.
weekend.
Oh, dude, that would be the shit. That would just be so much fun.
Shouldn't you just do it at the beach? Shouldn't we just go to the beach?
I mean, we can also go to the beach.
We can also do that.
I'm not trying to split time in a family reunion. Because, we'll do a family reunion, but then we got to invite Devin.
Do we?
He's family.
Is he?
And you...
Dude, isn't
Nah,
he?
dude. He's the married-in cousin that nobody wants to talk about.
But he
But
comes.
that
He,
married-in cousin still gets the invite.
and brings that nasty-ass potato salad.
But, like, he gets the invitation that accidentally has, like, the day before,
The wrong
right?
date.
Like, if we're doing
Transposes the address.
it...
17... your address said 1734? It was 1347.
My bad, bro.
Now, Tim, are you a fan of potato salad in general, or do you just not like it overall?
Potato salad? Overrated.
I would go overrated on potato salad. There are very few that I enjoy.
Absolutely overrated.
In terms of like picnic side dishes, yeah, that's probably one of the last ones I'm grabbing if I'm grabbing it.
On Preston and Steve last week, they did their top three, like the top three salads, like a potato salad, macaroni salad, egg salad. Like they were talking about it. So maybe
Salad.
Well, no. Like it has to be like your like side, your in the
Side salad.
in
Got
your
it. Thanks.
No, not a lettuce-based salad, like a pasta salad, ham salad, chicken salad, like one of those types.
Ham salad.
I just threw that as an example.
What in the diabetes is a ham salad?
You've never had ham salad?
That's exactly what it sounds
No,
like.
and then you ask yourself, Tim, how did you get this way? And I tell you, I'm creative.
It's tuna salad, but they use ham instead of tuna.
Tim,
That sounds disgusting.
Tim,
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
you from like the land of like Smithfield hams and shit? Like how have you?
Yes, and we didn't abominate ham
Oh
by
my God,
making
that
a
was-
salad out of it.
Oh, dude, it's so
It's
good.
tasty enough by it is,
Y'all
the way it is.
remember sandwich spread?
I love the sandwich spread.
Where they would just take like the ends of every fucking lunch meat and ground that shit up and put some mayonnaise in it.
Goddamn right, it's never the same twice.
It's never the same twice.
It's a beautiful situation.
I don't
It
think
shouldn't
you
be
make
the
that
same
shit
once.
anymore.
They don't make that anymore. What the hell?
I don't.
God.
You have to put ingredients on everything.
Fucking thanks, Obama. Jesus, ruins everything. Okay, Roman
Sandwich.
overrated, underrated Roman Reigns edition. I took the four subtopics directly from, again, this is at Straight Shoot on TikTok. We will start with the bloodline. Overrated, underrated. Tim.
Underrated.
Okay. Any
Eric?
if you want to add anything to it, feel free.
They're better than the Shield.
Oh,
So if you had the Shield as a top 5 stable, they're
God.
better than the Shield.
that's just. Phew. Now I know my answer now. After that nonsense.
How is that nonsense?
The bloodline over the Shield.
100%.
We never saw anything like the Shield before the Shield came out. It was
and
revolutionary.
yet the bloodline is better.
No. We've seen the
Here's
bloodline
why.
before. It was the Hart Foundation.
No,
It was
the
the
Hart
fucking
Foundation
Hardy
had
Boys.
no, not the same. Also not the same.
Matt, was
Hardy
that a
Boys
DUI
did-
joke? Was that a DUI joke?
Hardy Boys didn't have a leader. The Hart
The
Foundation
Brood
was
did.
together for like 2 seconds.
That's fair.
The bloodline has a absolute leader in Roman Reigns, and a
Okay, and
guaranteed
Michael
tag
P.S.
team
was
in the
the leader of the
Usos.
Hardy Boys too.
What now?
Michael P.S. Hayes was the leader
There
of
you
the
go.
Hardy Boys.
No. But in either event, I think that they are underrated, and they could be so much more.
Okay. Matt.
I was willing to say underrated until that. Now we're Tim overrates the bloodline, but I think other people underrate them.
All right. Ryan.
I'm not sure how you could call the team that's holding all of the gold underrated. I'm struggling with that thought. I think they're rated right where they need to be, but if I had to choose, I would say they are overrated for the reasons Matt brought up. It's just the Hart Foundation, V2.
Jeez. I will actually agree in a way with Tim. I don't know if I'm willing to go as far as saying better than the Shield, but I do agree that there is even with all the gold in the World Wrestling Federation Entertainment, I think there is more that they could be doing with the run. So I will agree with that they are underrated.
There's untapped storyline potential with the
Yes.
bloodline.
Yes. So from that point, I mean, yeah, when you have both tag titles, both world titles, you've had one of the main titles for over a year. It's hard to say underrated, but yeah, I think that there's some untapped potential there. The next one is Roman Reigns' spear. Ryan.
His beard?
Spear, like his move, the spear.
Oh, his spear. I think that's underrated. I don't think there's a better spear in the WWE right now.
Okay. All right. Matt.
Overrated.
Okay. Tim.
Oof. I'm going to go a smidge underrated.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Just a smidge.
As
Yeah.
far as protected finishers go, it's one of the more protected ones, correct?
I don't think so.
no. I think people have kicked.
So many people have eaten more than one.
Well, he normally does multiple before going for the pin, right?
Ooh, holy shit.
But if you
There were
have
red
to
blue
do
lights
more than
behind you.
one,
Is
then
Is
like
Ryan okay?
Wait, Ryan, are you okay?
Yeah, there was red and blue lights right behind me, but they pulled over the fucker beside me.
Oh, damn. That that kind of happened when we were going down just before we got into Delaware the other week. The red and blue lights hit, and the missus had to pull over, and they pulled somebody over just a little bit down the road. So yeah, that's
I didn't let off once. He was gonna have to chase me if he needed me, but
well, we could have heard the interaction on the podcast. But yeah, I think
that's my gut.
yeah, I think even and I think maybe more so even before this current run, I think we saw the spear as more of like a setup move. We've seen it more as like a finisher in this run, I feel like, but I'll go a little bit underrated. I can't think of any spears that are better in the WWE right now. Who else even uses a spear?
Edge.
Lashley does.
Lashley.
Does Riddle use one?
He hasn't
Riddle
teamed with
took a
anybody
spear.
that uses a spear yet.
Okay.
Goldberg.
Yeah. I don't count him.
Bill Goldberg.
Fucking Goldberg. Okay. Then Roman versus Brock and Mania 38. Overrated, underrated. Tim.
I'm gonna say underrated again, but it's because I don't hear anybody ever talking about it. So it's like,
Okay.
it's not overrated because nobody's talking about it.
All right, that's fair. Matt?
Yeah, I think that would be adequate.
Okay.
I don't think it was a great match, but I don't think people say it was either. So underrated.
Ryan?
Yeah, I will co-sign right along with Tim and Matt here.
Okay. I'm actually going to take a different approach on this one. I'm going to say overrated because of the what I thought was a really great build going into the match turned out to be a crappy match. Now, I don't know how much a injury or whatever that situation was with Roman, the reported injury, played into the match being bad. But when you had a build that big and that good, the match left me wanting more. So I will actually go overrated for that main event. And finally, his current title reign, Ryan.
I think it's boy, how can you even judge this? It's not over
Because it's still ongoing.
For that alone, I think it's underrated because I don't really know where it's going to cap off at.
All right, Matt.
I think for that reason is why it would be overrated, just because the WWE's kind of booked themselves into a corner where they can't really do anything but keep the title on them. So because they have no other choice, it's just his, which would make it overrated.
All right, Tim.
It is underrated because it will end up being the greatest reign of all time.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if I had an option for like kind of similar to what Ryan said for the first one, like right where it should be, I would kind of go with that. But yeah, I think right now, I would go underrated as well, just because there has been I've seen more recently, last couple weeks, especially with the injuries to Cody, the injury to Randy Orton. Like, people have been saying that, like, Roman Reigns, the title reign is bad because they haven't utilized other talent. I'm like, that's not Roman's fault. That's not the fault of the title reign. I think this title reign is fantastic, and it's something like different. And the way they're doing it in this era is different. WWE failing the undercard and the mid card is a separate problem from Roman's reign. So for that, I'm definitely going to put it as underrated. Do you guys, those were the four from the TikTok video. Is there any other aspect, since we're talking Roman Reigns, is there anything you guys can think of that we want to touch on for overrated, underrated?
His entrance theme.
His current entrance theme?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say it. Because I feel like a lot of people love it. I'll still say a little bit underrated, because I think it fits this Roman just absolutely perfectly to a T, and so yeah, I will go underrated. Matt.
Yeah, I don't really hear anyone really praising it, so I guess it would be underrated. Uh-huh. Not as good as his last one, though.
Tim.
It's underrated.
Ryan?
I also would say underrated. I think, personally, this is my favorite theme of his. And Jim, I think, like you said, it fit him to a T. And I don't like change very much.
That's true.
So for me to really enjoy it, it had to hit something well. And I think this theme encapsulates what Roman Reigns is perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I like this one better, just because, I just didn't like that he had the Shield theme minus the Shield intro. And I get it, he still had the same look and feel and everything, but I think that was part of the thing about Roman Reigns post Shield that a lot of people didn't like, that there was no no difference, no delineation, even though the Shield had broken up. So for me, that's why I do enjoy this one better. Okay. The WWE last week put out, because we know John Cena returned last night on Monday Night Raw. We are in for another summer of Cena. And the WWE had put out a graphic, who's your dream opponent for John Cena? So, but they had put 7 superstars on the graphic. I will start at the bottom and work up. Veer Mahan, Tommaso Ciampa,
Tomato chips.
Omos, Riddle, Ricochet, Gunther, and Theory. So out of those 7, Ryan, we'll start with you. Who would be your dream John Cena opponent out of those 7?
Boy, out of those 7, I was really hoping you were going to say Savio Vega. I'm going to have to go old Goonth.
The old Goonth.
The old Goonth. I just think those are 2 muscular dudes. They'd be smacking each other around a little bit. A little 5-knuckle shuffle, a couple chop skis. Yeah, that'd be a fun.
Big meaty man slapping meat.
Yeah. Definitely a good one, Matt.
I would have to choose that Gunther as well. The battle of the jawlines between the two. I think it would be a fun one for them. I think there could be some good builds similar to what we've seen Cena do in the past with any type of international star that he's facing off with. So I think that would be fun.
All right. Tim, are you continuing on the Baby Huey road?
No, I'm not. I'm going to go with the obvious answer, and that is going to be Theory.
Okay. Any particular reason?
No. Other than it's like the obvious answer, so it has to be right.
Okay. I would kind of lean Theory as well, just because like I do feel like with the McMahon stuff, you had the Austin rub at Mania. You know, he is I think probably the youngest superstar on the main roster. I feel like he has, like, out of anybody on the roster, I feel like just because of the sheer length of time that he has in front of him, like he's the only person that theoretically would have the chance to have a career the length of John Cena's in the WWE. I'm not saying he's the next Cena or anything like that, but like a feud with Cena at this point, I think could go a long way for his career. If I'm picking somebody different than the answers provided already, I would go Riddle, just because, you know, we've already seen over the last couple of weeks since Randy Orton's injury. You know, I mean, I said going back a year ago when they had announced that fans were coming back at the Money in the Bank weekend, that I thought coming out of the Thunderdome era, Riddle was going to be one of, if not like the biggest breakout stars in the company. And I think over the last year, with Rated RK Bro, and now with Orton's injury, we're seeing a different dynamic to Riddle. And you know, I think getting a Cena rub as well would go a long way for Riddle in his career. Similar to I mean, he looked great against Roman Reigns the other week on SmackDown. So I don't think you could go wrong with either of those. I mean, I don't even know why they put Veer Mahan on the graphic. I
am interested in that, though.
Really?
There's absolutely going to be a John Cena and Veer interaction. Absolutely will be.
You think so?
Absolutely there will be. Not a match, maybe, but Cena will roast Veer.
Okay, I could see that. That could be fun.
Absolutely will. But then fucking attitude adjustment and walk out. He doesn't take a loss, but he gets shown up.
That's fair.
I see that absolutely. That might be one of the first interactions we see.
Could be. You know what? You're right. You might not actually be wrong on that one. So now if we're not going on the graphic, is there anybody in the WWE that you would, besides maybe one of the guys on the graphic who you said would be your dream opponent anyway, but if you're just picking anybody in WWE right now, we'll go back around the room. Who would be your dream Cena opponent for this summer of Cena? Tim.
Braun Breaker.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Now, would you do that in the Performance Center, or you?
Yes, I would.
That would be cool. I would actually think that's pretty cool for Cena to.
Especially in this era of NXT where people can, like, WWE stars are going to the Performance Center and doing the thing. Like,
sure, why not?
It absolutely fits, man.
All right, Matt.
I don't know. I really like the Riddle idea now. No, you know what? Give me Damian Priest.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm a fan of that pick as well. Ryan.
Have we seen an AJ Styles interaction with John Cena yet?
Yeah, they had, was it I want to say 2 years ago at Money in the Bank?
It was when, like, AJ first
or 3
appeared,
years,
I thought.
Or 3 years ago. I think there was a match. So I know it was one of the higher rated matches.
They wrestled at a SummerSlam.
Was it at SummerSlam?
Because AJ kicked out of the Super FU.
That's right.
Okay. Right.
That's right. Yes, they had the match at SummerSlam in 2016. Yes, I mean it's been a while since there's.
All right. Well, if there's been a match there, let's just say I think it'll be somebody from NXT as well. I'll take Cameron Grimes.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might just stick. Might stick with my original answer and actually just say keep Riddle as my answer for both.
Who if your lovely wife had to pick someone?
Oh, she is definitely going Gunther. She always goes Gunther.
Now, right here,
Surprised she hasn't gotten you to change your name yet.
You don't. I don't hate his new theme, but it's definitely not as good as the old theme.
I don't like it as much, right?
Yeah, I definitely don't like it as much. I definitely don't hate it. If I have to pick somebody different than my other answer, you can't go wrong. If now you wouldn't have Miz and Maurice mocking the Total Bellas again, but I don't think you can ever go wrong with Cena and Miz either.
I mean, you can go wrong with Cena and Miz. We've seen that happen.
Well, that is true. That is true. At least our most recent version of that. They did not go wrong with it, I should say. All right. Let's go with this one. What WWE match disappointed you most? You can interpret this however you want. If it is
anything with Bret Hart in it. Oh shit! I thought I was on mute.
I fucking hate you so much.
Not the Goldberg match though. That one was fun.
Oh,
That one was top notch.
That was a WCW match anyway.
Ah, yeah, fair enough.
Like you can interpret this kind of any way you want. It could either be a, for example, like if the TLC matches always disappoint you, or tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs. If that match disappointed you, can choose a gimmick match. You can choose a specific match, but however you want to answer the question. Tim, I'll start with you.
And the question is, what match disappointed
you the most? There's probably a long list to choose from.
There is. I'm gonna go Rock Cena 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just because it didn't deliver, it shouldn't have happened.
It didn't deliver. I mean, was I there for that? Twice in a lifetime. Was that 29?
Right? Yeah.
I was there for that. And I don't even remember being there for it.
Was that the one Rock tore every muscle from torso to ankle?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, that was before he had, Zoa and Terramana.
Right.
And, he was Black Adam.
Okay. I think that's
Black actors.
I think that's a strong answer. Matt.
I'm going to say the Shield triple threat match. I felt underperformed for the build. I mean, we all saw it would eventually happen throughout the Shield's tenure, and then when it eventually did, I felt like it was so lackluster that it was just a waste of that build.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. I definitely left a bit to be desired. Ryan.
It may not be fair to put this one in there because the WWE was trying something new and being creative, or at least trying to be creative. But pandemic-based Money in the Bank race up Titan Towers, where Rey Mysterio got thrown off the side of the building and Otis won only to lose it. That match was such a disappointment. It's probably one of my least favorite cinematic matches, and it's one that I think never should have happened.
Oh man, I love that actually.
You fucking would.
I just thought it was a really creative take on Money in the Bank given the circumstances. And I thought, now, yes, was it perfect? No, but I thought given everything going on, I liked the peek into the headquarters that we never usually get to see. I have two answers. I have one from my childhood, and that would be the Iron Man match from WrestleMania 12 for the obvious reason of Brett losing. But the one I think that disappointed me most since like we've been doing the show is it was between two, and both are Bray Wyatt matches, but I'm gonna lean to WrestleMania 31 against The Undertaker, because like you chose to have him lose the year before to Cena in New Orleans, and I felt like you summoned the dead, and I understand the not wanting to have Taker lose back-to-back WrestleManias, coming off the streak, lost the year before, and all of that. So I can understand the reason why Undertaker won that match, but it just felt like it was really the tip of the hat that that Bray Wyatt was never all. And I know he won Universal title, I know he won a WWE title, but like the overwhelming majority of Bray Wyatt feuds, he summons an opponent and he ends up losing. And I feel like if that match goes differently, I think that the long-term story of Bray Wyatt is a lot different. So that one was just kind of like, man, my favorite guy in WWE right now is a guy that is just never going to win the feud that he calls out. So one's the one that sticks out to me as most disappointing. The match that disappointed me the most. Since we have some extra time, I'm going to pull the topic that we didn't get to last Thursday. There was an article in the New York Post that kind of compared the current run and title run of Roman Reigns to Seth Rollins. And, Rollins is there every week. Rollins is, kind of at, the article didn't say it, but to steal a line from one of Tim's shows, Height of Powers, this is my personal favorite version of Seth Rollins that we've gotten. I think he's clicking on all cylinders. And this is in the aftermath of the Cody feud and the Hell in a Cell match. But like the question was, is this run by Seth Rollins greater than Roman's current run? Ryan, I'll lead to you first. Like, when you hear that question, do you have an opinion on that?
My first gut instinct is absolutely not. Is this the greatest Seth Rollins we've seen? Yes, it is. Is Seth Rollins the number one guy in the WWE? No, he's not. So you can't compare the Lancaster Barnstormers run to the Philadelphia Phillies run. Like, you just can't compare those two.
Okay.
And I'm not saying Seth is minor league, but Seth doesn't have the hardware to back up that claim. So you need to have the hardware to back the claim up. Is this Seth's run? Absolutely is. And I think we should just champion that. I don't think there's any need to compare the two.
All right, that's fair.
Fuck you, York Bucks.
Matt.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think we've all talked about recently how much fun this Seth run has been for a while now, and so I think that to say that is fair, and I don't think we need to necessarily see him with the belt just to justify that. I think this is sufficient.
Cool. Tim?
Yeah, it's tough to say that this is better than Roman. But it's really good. And he seems to be the only kryptonite that Roman's got so far. Of all the people that Roman's faced in this run, Seth's the only one to have beaten him, granted by disqualification, I think.
Yeah, it was DQ at a Rumble. Here's the thing. I don't think that it's better, like, overall, because when we're talking about this Roman run, I mean we're going to hit a point where he's, and I think we actually probably already are, in the top 5 longest title runs of all time. By the end of it, we may be, depending how long they play this thing out. I know we did the math a couple of weeks ago, but you're talking potentially second longest, or if they really want to drag it on, you could potentially go longer than Bruno, and be the longest title run of all time.
We can talk about Bruno.
No.
You could, and as Tim pointed out, you're potentially talking about this being the greatest title run in company history. So it's hard for me to quantify anything, especially something without a title, being better than it. But I understand, at least from one of the aspects the article looked at, is the fact that, like, Seth has done all of this great work, and he's only, like, won a match like twice in this run. Like, I mean, he's getting beat in all of his feuds. He's making everybody he works with better over the run. And he is doing his best work. So I understand the angle at which the article was taking. But yeah, I don't, and I have been a Rollins guy since the Shield and at all points in between. This is, like I said, this is my favorite version of Seth Rollins, and I think it is the best version of Seth Rollins that we've gotten so far. But I can't, I just can't sign off on it being better than Roman's run. And again, it's like you guys said, it's not really a fair comparison. The two are on kind of different stratospheres. They don't need to be compared. But created a bit of an interesting read, interesting discussion point. But yeah, I can't quantify that.
Yeah, that's a really neat discussion point, I think, and I think Tim, brought up about Seth being the only one to beat him. I think the WWE recently has made some opponents look very viable against Roman Reigns. I think there were moments in the Riddle match where I was like, boy, there's some crazy shit happening in the WWE right now. I wouldn't be shocked if they pull the trigger here. Not that Roman, couldn't be beat by anybody, but with what's going on, I could see it happen.
There was definitely a small part of me, and I think I tweeted it out Thursday night, maybe Friday during the day, that I didn't. It wasn't that I expected Riddle to win, or that there was like a huge part of me that thought he was gonna, but there would have been a part of me that would not have been surprised, just because like they have thrown curveballs before, and with all the other noise going around the WWE, I think creating an opportunity for there's that word again, for the headline to be something different. That's why, like, even going back to last week when like there was all the buzz about Sasha Banks, whether or not she was released or not, and as of recording time, we still don't know the final answer on that. But I was like, look, whether it's good PR or bad PR or a good headline or a bad headline, even the release of Sasha Banks would be something that would take the headlines away from the Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis situation for a little bit. So it wouldn't have 100% totally surprised me if Riddle would have come out of there. But yeah, there's been points in the Roman run where it looked like somebody could have beat him. And that's a good thing. Like he has to, it's bad enough if your champion's not going to be around full time, but to have him completely unbeatable makes it silly when somebody gets a shot. So yeah. Do you guys have anything else relating to this or any other topic? We can wrap this one a little early if you want. I'll leave it in your
podcast, I'll tell you that.
In your guys' capable hands.
I'm good.
Yeah, the only thing I want to say is, we talked about especially last Thursday, the Vince McMahon stuff, and Jim, I think you just brought up, about no PR or bad PR is better than no PR. Nobody's talking about MJF and that fire promo he dropped a couple weeks ago. There's, for every voice talking about the WWE is a voice not talking about AEW. So I feel like if you're the WWE, you're okay with some of this. I don't want to say bad PR, but some of this unknown, some of this mystery of what Vince McMahon's going to do or what, I think you're okay with some of this.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the headlines. The stock number last week didn't take a huge hit, and again, as the investigation plays out, that may change. But the WWE seems to be operating business as normal. And yeah, nobody, AEW included, is talking about the MJF promo, and I get it because he was kind of, he has to be fired and he walked away, and I guess we don't talk about him, but it felt like an opportunity, something to capitalize on that was maybe missed a bit. But yeah, I think the WWE is fine having their name in the headlines a bit, and people have been tuning in. Raw's numbers have been up a bit, SmackDown numbers have been up a bit, especially when No Chance in Hell hits, people are they're turning over their TVs to the channel. So it is certainly an interesting spectacle to watch play out in real time. So that's where we'll leave it. You know where to find us on all of our forms of social media. You can find us Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go to 3countthursday.com. Make sure you get the merchandise over at tpublic.com. Subscribe to us on all podcast platforms. We'll be back live on Thursday night, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter as well. And until then, stay safe, stay smart, and go